Welcome back. This is
Hello.
top 4 time. This is Craig Pollock, the Scourge.
Yeah. The guy formerly known as the guy who makes top 8.
Goodness. You're number 1 so far.
I'm number 1. So
Until Zach passes
I
you.
don't like rooting against people, but I think I have to root against Zach, right?
I think so.
Okay.
He was 3 points behind you, and that was before he won a top 8 game.
So that means he's ahead of me. Or no.
I don't want to speculate. We'd have to see the actual leaderboard, but
Should we look it up?
it's right here. Craig Pollock, you're at 97. Zach's at 92. So
Oh, wait, but that's including the points he's gotten so far today.
he was at 92 earlier. So
We're tied.
You're tied.
So if he wins this, he's in first.
But it's whoever has the most top 8s as the tiebreaker. So how many top 8s do you have?
I think 3.
Zach has 7. Just kidding. That would be way too many.
I think he has 3 also, maybe 4.
Dude.
I don't know.
So it's probably
He's probably
last
going to win
visited
it.
a castle.
Go, Zach.
Okay.
Good for him.
Dude, he said this is his pro tour because he doesn't like to spend a bunch of money and go somewhere else because he's still in pharmacy school.
That's fair.
Did you know that?
I did know he was in pharmacy school. I didn't know he didn't like to spend money to travel.
I mean, it's
understand
just
that.
how can you do both, you know? You got to do the locals.
It's
when
true. You got to.
You're turning in your pharmacy report on a Thursday, and then you're turning your dragons over on a Saturday.
You know, but I've seen the bling in his deck.
Right.
I think he
Sell
could probably
those and
turn
go
his
around the
dragons
world,
into
yeah.
non-foils, and he could go to everywhere.
Yeah, hell yeah. Well, to now he's playing. Oh, he's on the other match. What are we doing? We're watching the Vore brother versus the Angel.
Ooh. Is this the better Vore or the worse Vore?
It depends on who you ask, I feel like. What do you think? You spend the most time with them. I just saw Matthew Vore without a mask for the first time ever. I was like,
wow, what does he look like?
exactly. This is the other Vore. This is based Vore.
This guy is at best the second best Bravo in town.
Nice.
But
This should have been you then, yeah. This is his 3rd hero in this top 8.
yeah,
in
so
this
he had
franchise?
Icelander first, and then Kano, right? And
Right.
now Bravo.
So he's just going around the world in 80 days with this
Yeah,
whole-
so he's figuring out what he wants to do for nationals,
Cool.
and so this is kind of good practice for him.
I do like the purple polo that blends into the walls at Collector Legion.
Yeah, I don't think he knew he was going to match Collector's Legion, but I think he only has 3 options for shirt colors.
Pink, purple, and...
Maybe it's even 2. It might just be pink and purple. No, he has blue, I think.
Okay. I
So-
think I've seen him in a blue when he
Yeah,
was Icelander
yeah.
at one time.
So, we had a 33%. And he's got to save the pink one for when he sees James. So,
Nice. They do not have access to washer and dryers in Arizona, so he has to save it
yeah.
this whole time. Do you believe in color theory of, like, some things can calm you, so you wear certain shirts to bigger tournaments to give yourself the best thing, or that's not something that goes into your preparation?
So, it doesn't go into my preparation. I think Alex might be immune to being calm.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever spent any time around him.
Not on purpose.
Calm is not in his repertoire.
Okay. So the purple is just a purple shirt for him.
Yeah.
Flesh bag, not...
Maybe he's doing it to match his opponent, right?
Oh.
Levia's purple.
Dude, he knew he was going to be playing Levia today.
Yeah. So
What is this exact surgical deck stuff?
I lost to Levia today.
Was it Angel? Someone else?
It was not Angel. It was Jonah, who is Alex's friend. And he did a lot of damage. This Levias are hurting.
Are you taking 18?
I took a 20,
15
took a
happens without
19,
trying, yeah.
took some 15s. Yeah, no, I was ahead. We think there might have been a rules discrepancy. We're going to have to figure it out. If there's any judges in the chat, can you use the slithering centipede?
I think so, because it goes face down.
If it's face down, that's the question. If it gets banished face down that turn, can you still play it or not?
I definitely think no.
Like thinks no.
Because when you're face down, you can't look at the card.
Yeah.
So there is no
I don't
properties
know.
of the card.
I was told that the rules chat said you could. We're already rolling scabs. Let's see here.
You always roll scabs for turn 1, because if you roll a 1, you just say, oh, well.
Yep.
We're gonna get some.
Now we're gonna strip some cards.
Bravo's always blocking early.
Yeah.
I think if you do, I guess did Alex say you go first? Because shouldn't Alex have the die roll?
Yeah,
Because
so I think Alex wants to go second here for this exact reason, right? So, like you said, he rolls scab. So even if he gets action points, Alex can kind of just craft his hand.
right.
If he gets too many reds, he can block with the reds to try to crack back with any of his crush effects. And you have a lot of meaningful crush effects in this matchup, right? Like you can turn off Blood Rush turns with Spinal. Obviously, Crippling Crush is a thing. Starstruck turns off a lot of things.
Starstruck is way better against other heroes than
Yes.
Levia for sure. Because you could just do a block the first one with your Carrion Husk and keep going.
Yep. Yep.
Block the second one with your shoes and your
Yeah.
Crown of Providence and keep going.
We're seeing in the chat that Face Down cannot be played. So I
Was jobbed out.
So yeah, it happens. New set. But now I get to talk to you guys. So
That's better. 7 with if it hits at all, take 2 cards from my opponent that they get to choose. Levia wants as many cards as possible in hand, but I don't think it's worth using any of your equipment to get around this. You use it for bigger things,
yeah.
or don't lose tempo at all against this.
You're still pretty happy as Alex here, right? Because if he doesn't block to keep 2 cards to swing back, right? He's gonna or you're gonna get this, right? You're either gonna get the armor or you're gonna get a weak turn.
How did he claw twice? That was a
He
using
rolled his
our
scab
skin.
skins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. People in chat will figure out. I think we're on delay this time around, so they're gonna hear our answers like in 15 seconds, which is like okay.
Gotcha.
We did put the what is it? Ghostly Visit in the graveyard. That is a very good card. Oh my god, that's the second time he crotch rolled on somebody.
Angel.
You gotta figure this out, bro. They're gonna DQ you at National Vegas if you do.
Angel tries to roll his boots into your boots.
True.
Oh,
Dude, there's a 6.
wow,
I told you gotta start running gambler's gloves, and everyone laughed at me. But
This
I think
is
it's true.
He's been practicing his dice rolls clearly.
This is the best card you can play in any brute card because you're gonna just do 8s. What's fun about Bravo is that he does not care about Quicken, so it's not like, oh, I'm gonna block this out and save this Quicken token forever, because it'd be very hard to swing
Yeah.
a Nothos and a bigger thing without taking a bunch
Yeah.
of damage. But I will get
Uh,
my Unity going.
Alex loves to block with Starstruck.
Is that something you've been testing where you're like, it's actually way better as a block and everyone's sleeping on it, or
It's
no?
great as a block. If you already have a surge, it turns your like Spinal into a 1-card pitch.
That's kind of gross, actually.
Yeah. You can choke slams 1-card pitch if you don't have it. Even crippling, like in late game scenarios where it's hard to keep more than like 2 cards. If you have like Crippling Crush in your arsenal, it lets you get the surge to cripple if you don't already have one. So there's a lot of really kind of good value interactions with it.
Alex decides to block the whole rest of the turn out. The Slitherpede comes in. So the Starstruck, what is it called? Seismix token does nothing. So we'll just refresh both players' hands and try again.
Alex has practiced this matchup. So he's been pretty he's done pretty well into it in practice. So and we watched him earlier with like luck on his side. Do you remember the stream game earlier? Yeah, it was this matchup, right? When Angel would have won, but Alex 50-50'd into the pummel on stream, and there was no dominate on the pulping, and Alex ended up winning that game.
That's from today, right?
Yeah, that was
Okay,
like the last round. It was
that was not me.
yeah.
This is literally the 6th round matchup, right? Or
Yeah,
5th round
I think it was
matchup.
5th round. Yeah.
Okay. So both of these people made top 8, but Angel had the hardest road through the rider.
Yeah. Now you're a brute player, Blake. Are you enjoying this new Levia?
There's something about Levia's cards that really do not speak to me. I think brute that I love is about intimidating.
Okay.
So trying to get the right 3 cards in graveyard manage is not
Yeah. Okay.
as fun and overpowering to me.
Okay.
I
Fair
know
enough.
the math is way better on this hero,
Yeah.
but it's not something that I
It's
like. As I was opening Dust Till Dawn, I wasn't like, oh my god, yes, I got one of these cards.
okay.
I kind of feel that way for Bolton, so I think I'm gonna be a
Oh.
light warrior player for a
Wow.
while and try to make that min max that deck.
One of the few, the proud.
Right. There's only Zane today.
Yeah. How'd he end up doing on it? Do we know?
He top 18, and he wasn't 18. He was 17, maybe. I don't know, something
Oh
around
wow.
there.
Oh look, he only got 1. I think that's the first time I've seen him miss 2+ action points.
But that should be fine because we have a Command and Conquer, so that'll
Yeah.
get 2 cards out of his hand. I think Angel's been playing Levia for literally a year and a half. It's his other deck besides Briar. It's his first deck.
Okay.
Briar's his second deck.
Interesting. I did not know that.
So he's been playing. Oh my gosh, flipping over a non-6 is not great. We will take Blood Debt for the first time.
And it's a reckless swing. I feel like that's an important card in this matchup since Bravo can take the game long.
Right. You will get.
That's
to
a
the
good.
second.
Look at this. You see, I told you he loves
this. God.
This is. Oh no.
Oh, take that.
Oh no.
Um.
He says,
Wow.
"I don't care." Look at. He's even got the. I think a choke slam. He was so.
Damn, this
so
is gonna
disappointed.
suck for Alex. I think maybe this is a little bit of a learning of what I did wrong earlier for Angel. Of like, well, I can catch him with this now. Angel is his original thing is pummel Levia, and it was like in Blitz, and it was like so strong because you just can't give extra cards to Levia for pummel, and you just get hit by the pummel every time.
Yeah.
Seismic Surge pop twice.
Now, does he has Blood Debt, or does he have
He's
1?
doing Blood Debt with his dice
Okay.
right there. I think it's at either 1 or 2.
I was gonna say, so he didn't
just took
turn it off
1.
that turn.
No. A Nothos for 4. Most of the time, I think you just go, okay, who cares? Unless you map out your turn and you're like, I don't think I can play all this without a Scabskin roll.
Now, is pummel a common inclusion in Levia decks?
I think it is, quote unquote, I hate saying this word, but the spicy part of it.
Spicy for Angel, or it's standard?
Levia does not play pummel on purpose. It is a decision tree where I'm going to be doing this.
Okay.
I am switching from the norm.
Yeah, because there's a real risk too, right? Like I said, he lost the game earlier because he flipped a pummel. It's not a 6. It doesn't. You can screw up your banishes. It's interesting.
Right. It's the risk reward, but
Yeah.
you play enough 6s where you're like, I can. If I go piece by piece with my graveyard, I think there is something to like. Oh, I have a graveyard of 20. I hope I get the right 3. Is not as good as I have a graveyard of 4, and I can guarantee it.
Yeah.
That's some discipline you need.
Yeah. I also think, right, you don't have Tunic. So your pummel, look at this. It happened. He missed.
I think
he hit the pummel. I think it's a Warmonger, a pummel, and an Unworldly Bellow.
So that's not going to have go again.
Yeah.
But.
And he didn't turn off Blood Debt. That's what.
Which Alex is like.
That's
great.
what I was just saying. There's a real cost in these decks for playing that, and you don't have the really efficient plays, right? Because it takes at least a 2 cost to use pummel on.
So this is basically just a Nothos now, and maybe it is take 6 and use my hero power and Spinal Back, or we're just gonna block 3.
Yeah.
Do you have another pummel?
So Alex must have something nice. I didn't see his hand.
He took 3. I think Angel also took 2 or 3 off of Blood Debt, or 1. Cool.
Yeah.
Choke Slam.
2 floating.
So Choke Slam just is 8, right? It's not 12.
It's never going to be 12 here. He didn't Bravo, and he's got a card in Arsenal.
4 for 8 is really good math or really bad.
Yeah. Alex is also, a smart player, a tricky player. Like, he might do this play without the pummel, because this obviously looks exactly like a pummel.
Right. Choke Slam says you can't buff your stuff.
Correct. So
Attack action, so turns off Blood Rush on those.
it turns off Blood Rush.
Turns off that 6 to 9 one.
Yeah, Endless Maw.
Turns off pummels.
Turns off pummels.
But it's not dominated, so we do. I'm wondering what we're asking about. Of look at this card in my hand and look at this. Does it affect this? I think the answer would always be yes, right? Chooksum doesn't feel. It's hard.
I wonder. So I wonder if the interaction is. It's the card that blocks for an amount based on a card going to banish, and I think he has a beast or a mark
Diabolic
of the beast.
Offering, probably.
Yeah, so it's like, can I block with both of these? Mark of the beast gets banished. Will it get it? I think the answer is no, because the mark's going to get banished after the chain closes, and damage has already been dealt. But if you,
That was one time in testing. I came in for 7 with an on hit. That was pretty gross. And someone just did a Vore to banish a card, draw 2, and now Diabolic Offering blocked for 7 by itself. I was like, oh my god, that's like
dirty.
unmovable. It's like a Steel Blade Shunt for our favorite Levia now. It is a pummel.
Yeah, he did have
it. It is always 12. So after all that hard work, Bravo does it a little better.
Yeah.
That's why you play consistent heroes instead of manage your graveyard, manage your blood debt, manage your hero card. Do you have to tell your opponent, hey, I have the Levia card, or it's just it's a secret every time? Like, could someone get with, I want to play an 80th card that isn't transform and just trick my opponent?
I don't know the answer to that question. I would love to know that. I feel like I saw in the Battle Hardened coverage some player like had it showing before they used it, but I don't know if you have to. I think it's assumed at this point that you have it, but that would be a pretty good, pretty funny mind game. You just don't.
I mean, it is such a good card, because why wouldn't you do it?
Yeah.
But maybe if there was a reason to bluff it, somebody's going to figure it out.
I'm not sure there's enough value in that bluff.
It's in sideboard. So, but
yeah,
do you have to say it? Because you don't have to tell your opponent, here's my equipment.
Yep.
Sweet. Like, you never get any information about your opponent's deck at all besides the hero. Which I think is interesting as we get more card pool. There is, I would say, maybe 3 or 4 ways to build Levia. There's 3 or 4 ways to build a lot of heroes, maybe not Bravo. There's definitely a right way to build Bravo. Yeah. But as we get bigger card pools through the years, I do think it's like, everyone could lose against Dash because you just sideboarded the wrong way. I think that's going to start happening for a lot more heroes of, like, I thought it was Dawnblade Dory, but it was Decimator, so I put on all my defense reactions, and they're awful against Decimator.
I personally am a fan of that, where the heroes can kind of have multiple builds that are not, identical. You have to sideboard differently.
Right. Because it does reward, like, I show up every Tuesday, and I know everyone in my community, and I did my homework, and now I'm going to show. And it also rewards. I was doing that, but I was testing a pet deck on my own, and now I'm going to show up with.
Yeah.
I was playing Decimator all week, and now I'm doing Raiden instead.
Yeah. And we have in the chat, Bravo is the best pummeler. I agree.
Angel looks sad. Upset is the right word, I guess we said in chat. I think it was just getting pummeled after trying to pummel. I think there is a mental taxing thing of, I've been on the ball attacking Bravo, and I could barely get any damage in, and then Bravo gets 8 damage right on top of my head out of nowhere. It's like, damn.
He missed on the Dread Screamer, I'm guessing.
Yeah, that's the quote-unquote misplay, but it was 3 out of, like, 7 cards. How could you not hit? It sucks.
Yeah.
Plus, I don't know if he's hit Ghostly Visit yet. Like, Ghostly Visit was one of the first cards in his graveyard, but he hasn't played it for
pretty sure it's still
ever.
sitting in his graveyard.
That's just bad luck.
That is the Levia problem, right? Your odds are rarely 100%.
My ride is leaving, so I'm going to be homeless. We blocked a hammer. Blocking a hammer is better than taking 6.
Yeah,
right?
with a swing big feels like an interesting decision.
You're not really doing the right. You are losing some value there.
It's interesting. I've noticed Angel prioritizes pulping over swing big. He did it in an earlier game, right? He could have. Oh, I guess he can't block
True.
with it because it doesn't block.
This is an interesting way. Do you like these sleeves?
What are these sleeves?
These are like special sleeves. Angel bought 9 boxes of them once and only plays in these sleeves.
Interesting.
They're discontinued.
Okay.
So if you ever see a sleeve like this and you're like, who is it? It's not anybody besides Angel because he has cornered the market.
Okay.
Is this 6 or 9? This is the one that's 1 for 6, right? So we're prioritizing an Arsenal card. I think at a certain point, as soon as you get a Crippling Crush in your hand, you're just going to be like, I'll take 6, who cares, and then swing as big as you can.
If I'm on Bravo, I love to see my opponent swinging for 6, taking out 3 cards with no go again.
Right. I think he did the other one first, though, right? Wasn't there a swing big first? Or no?
No, that was his only attack that turn.
So he has 3 cards in hand right now.
Yeah, and Arsenal. So he could come back with anything.
Okay, for some reason I thought those cards didn't exist, but they do. Seismic Surge. I wonder what the discrepancy is right now. Oh. Starstruck. 1 card. That takes him from being pretty good to like just crush his aggro matchup.
So it's funny. I haven't played against it. I didn't play any aggro heroes today, but I did. I went first against an Azuri in a practice game, and I drew it with 3 blues. Right. So turn 0, I dominate it. They can't block it, and then Azuri literally couldn't do anything. So
Right.
I got 7 damage through, and a free turn.
That's amazing.
And basically just it won the game on the spot.
Husk is gonna block a Spinal Crush this time.
Yep, that's pretty good. So we got rid of the Husk.
I think whenever your opponent has a lot of really good defensive options and you're not an aggro deck, but you're a dominate deck, it is like, okay, I just got to get through my opponent's equipment as quickly as possible.
At this point, you're finding your place to put the screws in, right? We know he's pitched a reckless swing, he banished a reckless swing, he's got no hat, he's got no chest, he's got 1 left on the boots. Like your crushes.
Oh my god,
hitting.
did it happen again?
No, he got it this time.
Okay.
He finally hit his ghostly touch.
So that's going to be something we can use every time.
And
Ghostly Touch does a lot for you because it can go from the discard to the banish, to the discard to the banish, to the discard to the banish.
Right, so it'll, just that 1 ghostly touch puts him back in 3. He's going to roll his scabs because he's got enough cards to do exactly what you're talking about. If he hits a high roll, he can play the ghostly touch.
5 is a high enough roll.
Yeah.
When you're rolling, you're never hoping for a 6. 6 is just bonus. You are wanting a 4 or higher.
Yeah.
If you're playing a brute deck and you need to win it, you need to roll a 6 to win. You need to play your deck a little better, I think.
But interestingly enough, here I think he's got at least 1 yellow. If he's got 2 yellows, he can play that claw, use all the action points,
right,
and still have an arsenal. It's pretty good.
It's gross. Ghostly Visit, Slitherpede. This is 10 more damage that wouldn't have happened if we didn't roll the right way. It's 4 more damage is what this is always representing.
Alex says, I got it.
A blue unmovable does bump to 6, so that'll block all of that. But once again, I'm playing against a defensive deck. I just got to get through most of their defensive options.
Yeah.
You're probably not looking forward to the equipment suite that Bravo hasn't used it all yet, because that's still, 6 plus 3.
Now, one thing I've noticed.
9 health over there? Jeez.
Angel, obviously, he plays fast with it, right? He's only got 3 cards in his graveyard. I think that says 10 blood debt. He, when he has to transform, his deck just evaporates.
But you do get access to those quote unquote 10 cards.
Yeah.
You don't get to use Husk again, so there's at least 9 maybe you can touch again.
Totally, but I think there's a balance there, right? Because 10 cards is 10 turns. Well, when you have 10 blood debt, you don't get 10 turns, right?
Right.
Because your deck goes so fast.
Banish 10 cards off the top of your deck that you can't turn over.
Yeah.
Mark of the Beast is a get out of jail free card,
Yeah.
so we will get out of
Yeah. So
Dead Blood Jail.
yeah, Alex loves this, right? Again, this is that spot. He's got no go again because he only rolled a 2 on his scabs, and he has no armor. So I don't know if Alex has a crush, but if he has a red here, this is the turn he's looking to gain some tempo.
Right. Earlier he blocked with Crippling Crush. When you see a Bravo block with Crippling Crush, what does that signify to you?
They have too many reds in their hand.
Okay.
It means that there's no way they can play it. They have another one they can play, so they're just trying to make their turn functional. So this means he probably has a pummel, right?
I think the pummel's been in Arsenal a long time.
Yeah.
And if we can feel that, I feel like Angel knows it too.
Yeah. The hard part is what do you do, right? Even if you know it, do you...
You can't take 10. You have to transform into...
You also can't, like... You can block 9, but you can't really because they can just not use it. And especially on the Anathos, it's not like it has an on-hit effect. I think you have to just block 6 and bait it out.
Right. Here's the pummel. It wasn't in Arsenal Blake. You lose.
But he did have
my hand. So how close are we to transforming? There's a shadow puppetry in hand. So what is in the arsenal?
He has Doomsday, so he's gonna
That's
make
actually good. That is the best thing to do.
Yeah.
Because he pitched Doomsday in his top 8 match early. Blasphemette will help out here. We have to have how many in graveyard?
6, but he has in banish, and
banish.
he has 6, and I believe you can banish a card with it.
It happens at instant speed to play it, so you just get Blasphemette for free, and then you can banish a card from hand, and if it's a 6 that way, you can do it.
Oh, he's
gambling. Gets the 4.
So he's aggressive with his scab rolls.
I mean, that's why you play Brute.
Yeah, no,
half the time.
You know, the World of Series of Poker just wrapped up. He would be a guy who goes all in a lot.
I mean, did you hear that one thing where it was like you get 2 hours to write a code a poker bot, and then they did a who's going to win, who can write the best code after 2 hours or something like that?
No, I didn't hear about it.
And one person was just, if it's your turn, go all in, and that's the poker bot that won the whole tournament.
I mean, it works every time except the last.
Right. Except the last time when you lose.
Yeah.
Dude, what are we doing? We're playing.
He's using his extra action point.
That is where you play it, I guess. Yeah.
But so he hasn't gotten rid of blood debt though. Oh, he's going to transform
maybe
here.
Transforming is better. Here's 6 more damage. Somebody just groaned, so I don't know if that was a top 8 match thing or not. We do have Chris Iali over Angel's shoulder. He's trying to learn more about Levia. Would you play a Levia or not? You don't want to touch her with a 10-foot pole?
No, I'm pretty intrigued by her. I'm liking what she's doing. It's weird. Like, I'm usually not a vanilla damage kind of person, but she's got a lot of vanilla damage, good numbers. What you don't like, I'm intrigued by. Like managing the 3 zones to try to. The idea of playing a lot of Dread Screamers just seems good to me.
It's so good. If you Dread Screamer red 7, I think you can do 6 times without trying.
Yeah.
That's disgusting. Okay. So Blasphemette is live.
So
it is worth using a hammer to take out Blasphemette.
Yeah.
We are transforming, so our health will go from 17 down to 13, and then 7 cards come off the top. I think this is something you should always do if you're playing against the Shadowborn, Abomination, Levia, transforming into Blasphemette, is you should look at what your opponent has access to the rest of the game. Because you don't want to be caught off guard by it.
Yeah, I think Alex is trying to figure out
how much do I have to block before I win.
Can I fatigue you?
Yeah.
Because he's like, I got 19 health. I'm gonna kill this Blasphemous. I still got my armor. I got a unmovable that I'm gonna arsenal.
Right.
And you can see that, right? He was willing to do the CNC so that he could have hammered with the unmovable and kept the CNC, but he opted the other way, meaning he's looking at defense.
He's gonna block.
Yeah, because he's like, well, you're getting rid of 11 cards a turn. I don't care that you have 11 extra attacks. You're not going to get 11 extra attacks. You don't have 11 turns.
So this is where the Guile's theme from Street Fighter has to
Yeah.
turn on in Angel's head, where he
Yeah.
goes, "I can do this." But anytime you roll Scabskins, you could lose the game immediately. Don't roll a double one,
Yeah.
or your whole tournament's over.
Now the flip is he's going to do what he knows, and if he rolls that 6 or 4, like
4 is good.
as he's apt to do, he's going to be able to just keep stripping. And that's really what this is now. It's like, can I strip your hand and leak before I run out?
Right. Because you will be doing 12 damage a turn pretty consistently. It's can you do 15? Can you do 18?
Yeah.
We haven't seen too many blood rushes from Angel, but it's kind of like Chain, but not the good way of you're hoping blood rush is not in your next 9 cards because they're going to get banished off the top of your deck.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
kind of do want to prioritize playing from your banish zone, so the blood deck goes from 11 down to maybe 9 after your first turn.
It's a little hard to see from here, but he's gone through a lot of his deck already.
Art of War is kind of a dead card after you've transformed too, because you don't really want to banish something. Like, yes, it can get you out of a turn,
Yeah.
but there's no point in turning off Blood Debt anymore.
But it's, yeah. Do you really want it back in your, yeah, I guess.
Dumb question for all the people at home. We need a 6. There is a 6 there. Congrats. You did it. Does Blasphemous grow in the graveyard, or it's a token so it blows up and it's not part of your graveyard?
It's not part of your graveyard.
Cool. I think that's a judge question that everyone should be aware of if you're going to take the test.
Because unlike like the dragons, who have, like, it's just a summon. It's like a spectral shield.
Okay.
It was like a giant spectral shield.
Which one of these Levia, is it Blasphemous or is it Redeemed that quote unquote goes into your soul?
So I believe you're, well, I don't know. This one, Levia's in Blasphemous' soul.
Okay.
I don't know if, I guess if she's redeemed, it would be hard to think she'd have herself in her own soul, but I don't know.
So if you hit a card that says you can banish something from your opponent's soul, you could turn it back into. Or is there anything like that, or?
So I don't know if you can banish her out of her soul, and that matters, but you definitely get like go again on soul reaping.
Interesting.
Because the hero has something in their soul.
So whenever you play,
we got, it says Levia
Levia and Living Legend format. Interesting. There's 5 cards. It'd be hard to whiff here, but everything we're going to put into our banish zone goes face down.
This is super interesting to me. Like, I know you fill it up pretty fast, but like,
there's a 6.
He's not. He doesn't have a ton of gas in the graveyard to banish. Right? Even with he can play his cards out of banish, but you still need 3 in your graveyard each turn. And Alex might go, hey, look, I'm not going to even attack you to give you some food.
Yeah, because it doesn't really matter if you have this in hand. It's more of, do you, like, cards in hand you're going to always have. It's the blood deck cards that are going to be the factor that wins you the game.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the unmovable we prioritized earlier. Instead of swinging for 6, we're going to block this out for basically free.
So Alex is going to swing for an arsenal, a rouse the ancients, I believe.
So this is something where you're like, on my first Levia transform, Blasphemous transform turn, I did 0 damage to my opponent.
Yeah, and I have 4 cards in my, and look at my deck.
Jeez.
It's just annihilated.
Face down.
I'll
Everybody
say,
gets
show
to look
me,
out
show
and
me
make
that blood
sure.
rush. Show me that swing. big. Show me.
See, I don't know if other people feel this way. This would be a reason why I wouldn't play the hero.
Yeah.
Is like I feel so embarrassed showing 9 cards that I don't get to play with, and like,
Yeah.
well, here's my option I was hoping for, and
Yeah.
now the walls are closing in a little bit.
You have to truly be. Oh look, I was wrong. He says. He doesn't
Who
even
cares
care.
about arsenaling?
He says I'm just gonna pressure you.
You gotta say
I'm greedy enough here that with as much armor as he has left, I'm swinging for 4 and arsenaling that rouse because at 13,
Rouse just wins you.
if Angel doesn't have a big turn, I can now, force blocks.
The person that wins this game will be playing against Zach Wallach, so it looks like you have lost your number 1.
Good job, Zach. Congratulations.
But he's going to be facing someone with 100 poppers, so that may be
I'm officially not the villain of the series
No.
anymore.
And-
I'm just a guy.
And now Zach says, dude, if I wasn't in pharmacy school, I'd be number 1 in the world. You guys are lucky.
Yeah. He's probably calling somebody a bozo right now.
Yeah. Dude, R.I.P. bozos of the world. You're toast when it comes to this
Zach is
Dromai
also
meta.
dressed up as like a dragon or something today.
Oh, he was a Pikmin.
He's a
Is that a part? Did you ever play GameCube growing up?
I played a GameCube, but what game on the game?
Pikmin is like you build plants and they help you take down little bugs all around you.
No.
You have to rebuild your ship to get off of your new planet.
No, that
It just came out with its 4th iteration
Oh,
this
wow.
week.
That wasn't a thing in Mario Kart, which is what I
No.
spent most of my time on GameCube playing.
Dude, Craig redeemed. You
Yes,
get to
I'm
be
Craig
here.
Redeemed.
Oh,
I
like
didn't
that.
turn into Blasphemous. I got my soul back.
Yeah.
Thank you, Taylor.
I like that. Maybe we should all make redeemed cards for. Who do you think is going to Barcelona and gonna make noise from SoCal?
I'm probably going to be there.
Nice,
I think Chris is going.
because he's got to get top 8 again.
I think if Alex wins this thing and gets some of that sweet AGE money, he might go.
Nice.
I think he's working on his passport right now. He wants to make sure he's going to be admitted before he buys his ticket, which I think is probably a wise
That's a smart thing.
thing to do.
Passports are easier than people think, or I just haven't got mine in 10 years, and it's way worse with pandemic.
Oh, no.
Oh, there's a backlog?
Yeah, the pandemic sounds like it made it difficult.
Oof.
Luck-
I think I got mine exactly 10 years ago, so I'd be screwed immediately trying to leave the country, because
Yeah. I think it's
it
like
only lasts for 10 years.
but it's a good thing to get. Yeah, they last 10 years. It's worth going to get. Again, I think we talked about this before, traveled to Lille. If anybody is on the fence, I recommend doing it. Just the traveling experience is great. And, traveling with having something to do there that you love is just pretty cool.
Turn it into a fun vacation. We did take 6 from Anothos while we were talking about Barcelona. This will have go again from the Artivore?
Look at Alex, though, right? He's still at 18. He still says, look, you're going to present 12, but my deck has no 2 blocks.
Here's the pulping.
And this, even if you can leak damage.
You're going to take me to 14, maybe.
Oh my gosh. These
in
guys,
my own crotch.
These guys can't roll a die.
Let's do the 4. That's a 6.
He's in.
Okay.
He's got dominate.
Dominate.
But Alex can actually block this, right? He can put his armor in front of it and stop the go again.
Don't think Alex is allowed to see the banished face down cards, says Akako. Interesting. Whenever he's like, hey, show me those 11 real quick.
That is
Hidden
not
info?
a move that makes sense to me. Blocking 5 there. What?
Claw for 3.
I was told today that they get banished banish face. It's banish public, and then they go down. I don't know. I clearly don't know because I didn't know the Slitherpede.
Yeah, that
That
doesn't
doesn't
stop
stop going. I
going.
thought
Yeah,
if
we.
you full block. Oh, I thought if you
No,
full blocked it.
it's two non-equipment. So you
Oh,
get
oh,
owned if they
oh.
have a defense
Got it.
reaction in
Got it. My
Arsenal.
bad.
So not everybody plays brute cards, you know. Not some people haven't had a brute play against them in years. If you live in Kansas or something, Olathe. So Claw's gonna come in for 3.
Alex says I'm going to take 1, but you're going to lose.
It's hidden after they are face down, says Fabric, the local other Levia player. I do think, has there been a Levia community notes page yet? Because I know they were doing community note pages for a lot of other
I'm
things.
sure there is. The Levia's going to have like the most questions for the next upcoming season because she's getting popular and she's got a lot of
Nobody's ever heard of the word Demi hero in their life.
intricate interactions.
Here's the 4 cards we get to touch. I think there was also in an armory where like, do you draw cards first or do you banish first? Because at the end of your deck, if you draw first, you get cards, but if you banish first, you just don't have anything and you lose.
And I think we know you draw first. So it's like chain. At the end of the game, you end up with whatever you're pitching, and
Because
and
Angel
you're
keeps
banished.
banishing first before drawing, or unless I just looked at it wrong just now. I'm not sure. Actually, cannot remember. This is Dread Screamer
I
number
see what you're
5 or
saying.
6. Ghostly Visit is finally gone. That's a 6, so we'll have go again.
Wait, which one? The middle one's a 6?
Yeah, it's a pulping.
Okay.
I know he doesn't play blues of those because
Unlike like Alex blocks 6, he doesn't even think twice. He says crippling crush. I don't even care. I'm not beating you.
I do think normally you're like, okay, let's count both of our decks. But if somebody's banishing 10 cards off the top of their deck, there's no point in even counting. You're like, most of my stuff blocks for 3 unless it blocks for 5.
Yeah.
Staunch Response is not in the deck anymore though.
So, no, he's running a movable over staunch. So I think this is one of these really kind of cool parts of Flesh and Blood, and this is like almost the role Guardian plays. I know Nick Butcher was talking about this with Oldham. Like, Bravo doesn't need to beat Levia at this point. Levia needs to figure out how to beat Bravo. And this is where like the metagame shifts and kind of the fun part starts, right? Because if you're just, kind of playing hand to hand, you'll lose. So, the Levia player has to really kind of figure out how they're going to optimize their turns to get damage through. Like this is good, right? 3 attacks. And Alex
have to do 18.
Yeah, Alex is just preserving health because he goes, I just got to get through like.
Because through 3 turns, I'm not doing this to embarrass anybody or say anything, but through 3 turns of Blasphemat change, we've done 4 damage, which has to feel bad.
Yeah. Okay, Patrick, thank you. So once it's face down, Alex can no longer look through that.
And I think that makes sense of like get your hands out of my face down banish zone. One thought process too is Bravo does lose to Reinar, kind of the intimidate does matter, and I don't know if there's an idea of like maybe Levia switches to not as many Shadow Brew cards and maybe go get one of those like what's a card that has intimidate on it like Barraging Beatdown.
I can tell you a card that got me was it's not intimidate, but it's overpower, right? The wall breaker combined with unworldly bellow. Now you're talking 10.
Right.
Kind of dominate enough.
He's not going to use his Gambler's Glove, even though
he's thinking about it.
He's got to use your Gambler's Glove right now.
I don't know.
There's not going to be another turn, Angel. Use it.
This kind of goes to what I was saying. Like, he has to figure out how to win. And this is, playing to your outs, knowing if this is a point in the game where you could lose if you Gamblers here and roll a 1, but you might just lose if you don't do anything.
And I think that's an interesting card at Wallbreaker. Wallbreaker does 3 more damage than any other attack that Alex has defended already. After we get through the equipment, at least.
Yeah. Yeah, I think in my game without that wall breaker, I think I was out of the woods, but I died with a handful of cards.
Overpower. What's the best overpower card? I don't think it's
I
anybody knows
I'm
what they're
embarrassed to
called.
say I have no idea. I'm a Dusk Till Dawn noob still.
Because Merciless Battle Axe never made any. It was too expensive. Overpower for 3. Who cares?
Yeah.
The overpower cards from Dynasty. I think every hero got at least like a taste of one of them.
But none of them saw play, so I'm guessing anything prior to now is not the best because no one's ever seen them.
Because I think if you're playing barraging beatdown into a overpower card, that's actually pretty good. I don't know if there's a deck involved in that. Now we're drawing cards. These are the
Yeah.
cards we're gonna have access to, and now Anothos
And
will
now
take me to 1 probably.
and the tempo. I don't say it's turned,
Will take me to
but
3. Yeah.
like Alex has an arsenal and he just attacked because Angel only got 1 action point. Does that mean he's out of Dread Screamers? Because I would think he would just always use Go again if he has it. So yeah, he's down to just.
It's a 4. We got a chance. 2 action points.
So
Do 26 damage right now.
so he's down to 6 cards left in there. It looks like. No, I mean clearly no Go again. I think one's a groveling growl, so you can't even play that, right?
True.
Um,
I think one thing that's interesting about some of these new cards is they're so hard to like get on stream. Of like, I don't know what card they called for censor.
yeah.
I don't know, like, if they have a Levia card or not. Like, there's some interesting things that are happening that are going to be like, we have no idea what's happening until it's already gone. Mark of the Beast, that's going to be blocked for 6 easy. That's a
Yeah.
Nothos for nothing.
Alex also has enough health that I guess Endless Maw will get over. But like he can take 12 right now and dominate something and win.
We do hit a 6. We hit a couple 6s. If it was +3 for every 6, that would be busted. Oh, just a full on. I am going to fatigue you master class for the Vore brother here. We're not going to be able to swing, but I get all my cards.
I might opt to just sink there. Swing back for 4 since Angel's at 3. Force a block.
There's
He only has 3 cards left in his whole deck.
Roll a 1, it's over. 2! No! Play a Dread Screamer.
Yeah, no, Taylor. I think that's exactly where I'm going with this. Like, we're at phase 1 of this. Like, remember, like anybody who's been around for a while, like compare early chain end games to where they were before Living Legend.
I think
it was a whole different universe.
like when somebody popularizes a flow chart of like use your screamers first, then your wall breakers second, and then do this third, and then do it in the reverse order when you're transformed.
I don't know if the hyperloops are on this, but maybe like Joe Cologne can figure this out.
Will you be a pioneer or will you be a follower? It's your brain that needs Levia.
Yeah, maybe both. I don't know. Alex is like, I don't. This is like.
Oh,
people get so annoyed at this.
Every unmovable
hates.
ever. Take 1 though. He's down to 13.
He's got 1 card left in his deck.
Somebody said bring back Chain. That must be somebody who doesn't really know much about Flesh and Blood. Ban Chain forever.
Oh no.
Oh, that's game over.
GG. It's been nice.
Good game, good game, good game, good game. Oh dang, he said, how about this? I'll block 3 and
Does this officially mean that Alex is the better Vore? I think Matthew lost in the quarterfinals. Alex is looking. Oh, we get a rematch.
Alex versus Zach?
Zach, which was a finals, I think, of the third AGE opener.
Oh my goodness! When Zach blew him out immediately.
Yeah, but he was on Icelander. Alex knew. He's like, I'm gonna come back with a deck that's good in.
It's got
Dromai.
700 poppers. What's interesting too is whenever that's the wrong button. This one. So we're gonna see Alex go forward and Zach go forward. If Alex wins, we have 7 different heroes, 7 different contestants that win the whole thing.
Oh, that's very
That would be crazy. The other side is Zach could put himself as I am the best player in this thing because I'm the only person who's won twice, and go into the whole kit and caboodle next month as the only 2-time winner and be the clear person to beat. That's what we're playing for, ladies and gentlemen.
That's pretty good. And Taylor points out that Matthew did top last Battle Hardened and June Open, where
Right.
Alex did not. So maybe they're both the worst one.
Oh, true. There's only one way to be
I
the best,
think-
but there's
I
2 ways to
think-
be the worst.
I think that's probably the answer.
We will go ahead and take a 2-minute break to get some people reset, get some people I don't know. They probably need to put their deck box somewhere. Get another Diet Coke, get some water going, and then we will see. Is there a 2-time winner, or is there 7 different heroes and 7 different contestants over 7 things? Because we're the most balanced meta of all time. Can you do them from the beginning?
Me
Oldham?
on Oldham. Second was John
On.
on Icelander.
Great.
Third was Zach on Dromai.
Nailed it.
Fourth, Arya on Warrior.
Doranthia.
Yeah.
5.
This is May.
May.
Tyler, right?
Oh, he's so forgettable. I hate that
it's
guy,
easy to
dude.
forget Tyler. That's when I was here talking. I interviewed him.
Oh my
Yeah,
God!
on
You're the
Briar.
one who would know that, Briar.
And then last, apologies.
Colorado guy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's
Great player.
he's good.
Brian Lorenz.
Brian Lorenz.
And-
I just remember that too at the same time.
And now it's either Alexander Vore or Zachary Wallach.
Wow. Beast.
Yeah.
And there's the proof. Katsu's name just chilling on the right side. Who knows
Yeah.
what that means? We will see you soon, and thanks for coming on with us again.
Thanks
today,
for having me.
bro.
Appreciate it.
We'll see you next month when you crush everyone 3 times and make top 8 again.
Yeah, exactly. It's easy to make top 8 when there's only 16 of us. Or I
it's
don't make
not.
it, or
Yeah.
it's really hard.
Good luck, brother. And then